Hi everybody, welcome to this new episode for the GenAI Nerd channel, and today I want to show you how we can leverage Claude Cowork to start automating daily workflows. And more specifically, I will demonstrate how I use Cowork in Claude to help me keeping track of new academic publications and build up day by day an Excel sheet of papers that I should read. So let's get started. Yes, so nowadays, if we want to automate workflows, I think Claude Cowork is a very useful tool, and I will explain you step by step how we can kind of build a workflow in Claude Cowork. And the first step is that you need to build what is called a Claude Markdown file, in which you will explain the kind of automation that you want to do. So let me show you how you can do that. Yes, so now I'm in my Claude desktop application, and at the moment I'm simply in the normal chat mode. So this is the chat mode where you can talk with the Claude models. I have now Sonnet 4.6 extended enabled. That's kind of the default model nowadays. And so here I've created a prompt where I ask it to create a Claude Markdown file for me that helps to identify and report on a daily basis about new papers in management journals that touch upon the topic of generative AI that might be relevant for me. Yeah? So that's what I want to do. I want to keep track of that literature. And so by writing this prompt, it will actually create for me a kind of text file describing the workflow that needs to be executed to do this activity. And so then I can just enable that prompt, and then you will see that it will start acting, thinking, and in the end, as an output, if we go down, I get in this case indeed a Claude Markdown file. So that's a kind of text file. And on top of that, I already get a template of an Excel sheet in which it will store the output. So let me briefly show you this Markdown file so that you understand a bit what it actually creates here. Yeah, so what we see here is this claude.md file, and in the end this is simply kind of a text document that will explain in detail what needs to happen to execute this workflow. And you can see it starts here with the purpose, and then it actually has identified numerous steps to do. So it identified what are my target journals. For this is also kind of check my profile to see what are relevant journals for me. It has identified a kind of search strategy to look for papers, how it kind of assesses the relevance for me personally. Yeah, so this is really a customized workflow tailored towards me as a person. And here, for instance, also it takes or pays attention to making sure that it's not hallucinating references, which was always an issue in the past, but here with some additional instructions, it will avoid that it hallucinates papers. And here it actually formulates how it then can store the retrieved papers into an Excel sheet. So in the end, that's what this MD file is about. It's simply an in-depth description. And of course, you can also fine-tune then this description. So if you want to add additional steps, or if you think, oh, doesn't make sense, you can still adjust that. But in my experience, what actually Claude is producing most of the time already makes a lot of sense. So this is what we need. And then actually, so what do you need to do? So you need to download these two papers. So you can simply do that by download all. And then you have to store these two files into a particular folder on your computer. And then we can start using them using the Cowork part of Claude. So let me show you how you can do that. Yes, and so now I'm in the Cowork part of the Claude desktop application. And this is the part where you can really start communicating with your computer. And what you then need to do is to highlight here in which folder Claude can work. So then you actually indicate this is the folder that you can use. And you also have to take into account that this is then the folder where Claude can read files, but also edit files, but even delete files. Yeah? So you have to be a bit careful here. But so now the folder in which I stored my documents is this folder. Yeah, so this is the folder where I stored my Claude MD file and this Excel file. And now I can simply give the instruction here as a prompt, scan for papers. So I don't have to give a lot of context. I don't have to give a lot of instructions because that's all kind of available in this claude.md file. And now I can press let's go. And then Cowork will start executing the instructions that are stored in the MD file. So now we will have to wait a bit because this will take some time, but then I will show you the final result of this execution. Yes, and so now Cowork has finished its activity, so we can see here on the right hand side that it executed the workflow, and here we get kind of the input what it has been doing. So this is also what I can double check now. And then actually at the end of the conversation, it is saying, look, I updated the status of your Excel sheet. And so now I can actually simply go to the folder on my computer. So let me briefly do that. Yeah, so here is the folder where I've saved my Claude MD file and also this Excel, and indeed it has now updated my Excel sheet. So we are now March 13 and I can already see that it updated, and now I can open this file to see what has happened. So here is now my Excel sheet, where you can see I started collecting papers on 8 March, but now actually if we scroll down, I can see that now it has added papers for March 13. So these are now the papers that, based on the scan that I did today, have been added, and you can see I get the title, the authors, the journal name, which tier of the journal it's about, and even the summary of the abstract, and actually also some text why this paper could matter for me. And then I also get a link where I immediately can download the paper. So in that way, I think this shows how today you can really start automating a lot of workflows with Claude Cowork, and where you simply have to create an MD file and then you can execute it as much as you want. You can even nowadays already schedule that it execute the task on a particular point. So if I want to do this every day, I can schedule that in Cowork. So that's even an additional feature that is available today. So I hope this is helpful for you. Thanks for your attention and looking forward to see you again in another video. Thanks, bye.